Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 2 of the Bristol Chess Times. It's John and Mike here as always, following on from the roaring success of episode 1. Hopefully you can all see us now. Hello everyone.
Hey.
So we looked at one of my games last time, and today Mike has brought us a choice of 2 rip-roaring games, no doubt, from the Bristol District Chess League.
Yeah, so season is underway, and I'm just going to give John a choice of either of my games. So we've either got a slow theoretical Alekhine.
Tasty. It is Monday morning.
Yeah, it sounds like a cocktail.
We could start a slow tactical Alekhine.
Slow theoretical.
Theoretical.
There's no tactics in this one.
Ooh.
Or a high-pressured tactics frenzy from Semi-Slav.
Well, if I know our viewer base well, I think a highly tactical, messy explosion is what everybody loves.
Okay. All right, let's go for it.
So which one is it? Okay.
Yeah.
It is this one. We've got this one.
So
okay.
Actually, this was from Horfield A versus Horfield B. So if you do take a look at the Division 1 table in the Bristol League, you'll see all 3 Horfield teams at the top of the table, which is quite a sight.
But we are completely unbiased here at the Bristol Chess Times.
There are other clubs.
There are other clubs available within the
4th
Bristol
to 10th,
and District Chess League.
That might come back to bite us. We might lose many matches.
We've lost many matches before, but it wouldn't be the first time.
Horfield were always going to win this one. So I was playing for the B team against our A team. They are very strong champions last year. And I was black in this game. And I'm just going to whiz through actually a lot of these moves, because you'll see we do transpose to fairly standard lines of the Semi-Slav.
This isn't the tactical explosion that we were promised, Mike.
True. I mean, tactics can never start from move 1, right?
I don't know.
You've got to build it up.
Depends what you play.
G4 maybe. So I'm black here. You see I'm being pushed back, and white gets the kind of E5 solid pawn from which many attacks kind of originate. And here,
okay. So
I thought you'd like this move. I actually thought of you in this.
Well, I do love a rook lift.
He loves a rook lift, and I always say that it's not as good as it looks, because rook on h3. If the attack doesn't work, it looks very, very.
I'll be honest with you. Just taking a moment, because we've whizzed through these opening moves, and I know the Semi-Slav can be quite solid. And I mean, you're talking about your rook here, but my biggest question, Mike, is what is your knight on g7 doing?
My knight on g7. Well, it came out to f6, and then it got pushed back, and it's finding another route to f5, which is now a...
Right, so this is your plan is to lose tempi over and over again.
Well, I'm going to ask you, I mean, what do you think of the rest of black's position? Forget the knight for a minute. It's a defensive knight. I've kind of fianchettoed it.
I see, the well-known knight fianchetto that I seem to be saying that word well today as well.
Oh, yeah, well done.
Yeah. Okay, what do I think of black's position? Awkward. I mean, I know white's got those doubled pawns. You're a bit cramped. I wouldn't say it's bad, but what was your plan here? Because obviously you're very confident in your knight g7 theory.
Okay, so my one bit of compensation here. I don't think his double pawns are that much of a problem, because they're in the centre. This one is it's probably going to be swapped off or just be very useful for him controlling these squares. So my plan was this pawn. It's isolated, and I could pressure it.
In case nobody saw the mouse there, that's c4.
c4, yeah. So I thought moves like bishop a6, and when he re-maneuvers his pieces, they're not going to be defending c4. You can't easily push it to c5. So that was it, really.
Okay.
Win a pawn.
Win a pawn. Classic. How Karpovian of you, and I'm sure Karpov would approve of knight g7. Let's move on then, Mike. Because where does this game go?
So let's just see what happens here. Get the open file, obviously. That might lead to some tactics. I was looking at a lot of exchange sacks, as you would be very surprised to hear.
As much as I love a rook lift, Mike does love an exchange sack.
Now the thing is, as is very typical with this e5 blockading pawn or controlling pawn, white just kind of uses that to leverage an attack. And f6 is very weak.
Yes.
So knight coming to f6, big threat.
Particularly with the rook on the h file, maybe h7. I kind of feel, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
if a knight ever lands on f6, you're forced to take.
Oh yeah. Or yeah, that's right. So my knight comes in here. I spent a while on this move, and I knew that it was provoking g4, and I'd have to go back. And that was kind of deliberate. I don't know why, I was just in a mood for sadistic kind of punishment.
Yeah, well, to be fair, and there's often, I think, when we talk about amateur chess, I am often a big proponent of sticking to the same plan. Like there's a saying, like it's better to have a bad plan rather than no plan.
Yeah. And
I'm sure people watching will question this whole knight repeatedly losing tempi strategy that you've adopted. But I'll be honest, the thing I do like is you are consistent in sticking to it. And you are determined to put that knight back on g7. Yeah,
it went from g8 to g7 in 5 moves, which is
well done.
Impressive.
So, joking aside, seriously, are you not concerned here that white is just going to steamroller you off the board?
Yeah, I am. Now, when you're playing a very strong player, you've got to...
What were the grades?
So I'm not going to mention the name, although I'm assuming he's very happy for me to show it. He's a very strong player, about 200. I think he just
so strong
over. So that was 2100.
More than that. I think it was 2200.
That's probably 20. Yeah. He's very good at positional grinding, and I kind of invited that with his e5 pawn. But you have to kind of take those chances. It's like, okay, I might just lose in the typical way that he beats many players, and I've seen him done it.
So he's the stronger player, because you yourself are a strong club player.
And he's white as well.
Yeah.
So he does play knight f6 check here, which is very natural. And I do have to take this time because my pawn's still on h7. King h8 would be mate straight away.
So obviously then his e-pawn is going to kick the knight somewhere.
Definitely.
So actually, e8? Knight to e8, I'm guessing?
I don't play that. Well, it looks like the only square for the knight. So I can't remember whether I actually saw this before he played this whole knight f6 check plan. But the theory is that the pawn on f6 is blocking his own bishop. So his bishop on b2
true. So it's a hell of a good diagonal for the black square bishop.
Yeah. So what I have to look out for is a lot of sacrifices to get a piece into the position. So bishop takes g6, maybe rook takes h7 with a queen coming to the h file, things like that. But I thought I always had moves like h5 or even knight h5, or somehow my counterplay on the queen side, and it is coming.
So what are you thinking? Something like knight h5?
Not right now, no. So what I do is actually I leave the knight there.
Of course you do.
And f takes g7, the pawn is still blocking that bishop.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. If you can get away with the material loss, actually the pawn will get in the way of white's attack.
Yeah. So it's all about some tempi here. So I did see this. My next move was just queen d6. So I do gain
hitting the bishop.
A tempo on the bishop. Yeah.
Okay.
So what would you do here as white? Would you take the knight?
No, like I said, I probably would, but in this position I wouldn't because I'm going to lose the bishop. So I think my plan here, looking at this, would be to avoid your threats, and then I can claim the knight when I feel fit. So maybe something like, I don't know, rook d1 potentially, with a bishop c2 threat, and then hitting the queen and maybe forcing some exchanges.
So rook d1 does fall to bishop takes c4, I think, because that's pinned.
Of course it is. Nice. Let's just have a quick look at that. So yes, the bishop can't move, and now you've got 3 on 2.
Yep.
I can defend it though with e4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although f4 then is dropping, and it's all getting rather horrible. Is it?
Takes. Yeah, I could take the bishop further. No, I couldn't. Then rook takes would be a problem.
Okay, it's not a great
queen
line.
c5 check, and then the thing is e4 blocks the other bishop from attacking as well.
Okay, so rook d1 is probably an error.
Could drop the bishop back.
Yeah, just something like this.
That is what he played actually. So
okay, let's carry on then.
So I gain another tempo here. I leave my knight on pre again and play queen to b4.
Okay, so now we're getting to the tactics that you've promised us. In this game,
that's right. So I think from here on in, I do leave my knight on g7. Bit of a teaser for you.
Oof.
But now, what am I threatening?
Well, to be honest with you, Mike, I don't know what our viewers think. Leave a comment. It's a crap knight.
Yeah, I mean, if I move it to e8, it's still crap. So
you may as well let it go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd given up on it. But what have I got coming?
So you're threatening rook into d2.
Rook d2, very strong.
Threatening bishop and queen and rook on the 7th and all that.
Yeah.
So that's clearly the threat.
And
You also, your original plan, you've stuck true to it again. This is the sign of a strong player, everybody, of someone who's sticking to their strategy. The c4 pawn, I'm guessing you're now hitting. Well, you're not guessing, you are hitting. Okay, so as what do I want to do here?
Notice that rook on h3 looks a little silly for now.
Yeah, you're criticising my rook lifts now, aren't you? Okay, black to play. Is that right? Could I?
White to play.
White to play.
Yeah.
Can we just try and smash through with something like f5? Just give up some.
f5. Thing is, how many moves is that going to take if I do nothing? That's going to take a few moves to attack.
Yeah.
f5, f takes g6. I can just not even take back.
You can. I mean.
Meanwhile, rook d2 comes.
Yeah, true.
Queen takes bishop, and then I've got the second rank.
Okay, is it just rook to d1 again? This is keep wanting to play this move.
Sure, I could just take and then take your bishop.
Yeah, and then we'll take your knight. I'm not saying, and then c4 drops.
So once queen takes b2, of course, the queen can just take the pawn back.
Let's just quickly look at this rook d1 line I was just suggesting, because Mike can just trade off. Queen takes bishop, and we're materially equal.
Well, let's say now.
But
one option is queen takes g7, and there's no more.
Well, it is. Well, all the c4 pawn's dropping, and actually black is just better.
Yeah.
I have to say it, Mike. Well played. I like this plan. I think a lot of amateur players, upon seeing the knight hit on g7, would instantly be thinking about having the retreat. But this game, you have come up with a nice plan here. So what's the next move?
Well, let's go on. He plays a3 just to distract this queen. So the queen's very useful. Hits c4 and b2 and d2. So it's supporting the rook. So let's say I play queen b3. Then he doesn't have to worry about rook d2 anymore.
Right.
So, well, let's see what you would have played as black here. John hasn't seen this game.
Okay. Can I just claim the c4 pawn? Oh no, because they're taking the knight. The knight is hanging. I've got a queen and knight now on pre.
Yeah.
Tricky. Do you just continue with your queen d2 or rook d2?
Something
like that.
Those. So the idea being you win the bishop on b2 for the knight. So that's good.
Yeah.
I think that might have been good, rook d2. I don't know why I was rejecting that for some reason.
Is it simply that you win material with takes takes.
No, rook takes b2.
Yes, okay. Rook takes b2. Thing is, there's quite a few lines where you trade your bad knight for his good bishop on b2, isn't there?
I think maybe I was worried about just go back one move, just moving the bishop to say e.
F6.
So one more move back.
F6, taking away the e8 square from your second rook.
No, you haven't taken the knight yet. Move back one.
Sorry.
Here, so bishop e5.
e5. Glue everything together. I like this.
Yeah.
You can't hit it with tempo.
So without the queens on, I'm suddenly just in an endgame with a bad knight.
Yeah, a bit of a rubbish knight. Yeah. Because this bishop is just dominating this knight now, even if it retreats to e8.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So what actually happened then?
So I played bishop takes c4 instead of queen takes d4.
Okay.
Now you might think that's still losing the queens.
Well, it's a tactical mess.
It is a bit of a mess. But here, so a takes b4, bishop takes queen, and I'm hitting his rook on f1, and crucially that hits his other rook. So if he then takes, I then got rook to d1. Let's just show that because that was a lot of moves. So if he then decides to take this knight, I'm hitting this rook.
When king takes, you win the bishop on b1.
Rook down to here, yeah. So even rook across doesn't.
And he's just an exchange down.
He is, yeah.
Okay, so what happened in the game?
So rook d1. So what did he do? He played queen f2, just moves the queen out of the way. Now it's also threatening to come to h4.
Yes, yeah.
So if my queen's still under attack, so I've got to do something. I bring the queen in again, so that he's still under pressure. So he's got to move this, unless otherwise he loses this bishop, because let's say queen takes and rook takes, rook d1 check.
Yeah.
Win one of these bishops.
So queen h4 looks really strong here, right? It looks good. I like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does play queen h4.
Yeah.
So
always, you can't. It's got to be always playable, right? And an immediate checkmate threat.
And that is definitely a checkmate threat. Very difficult to do anything about that. So bishop takes rook doesn't work, for example.
Okay.
Now, so this is my theory about this rook h3 plan, which you tend to do. John does this from the Nimzo, for example. Similar structures. If the rook doesn't manage to checkmate or support a checkmate, it means the white king, is very, very insecure. And even if I give you a move to improve your defense, you can't do much. So rook back to f3 maybe. So the h pawn can't move. The king doesn't have anywhere to run and hide.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very risky plan. Sometimes works, often works against me.
So what you're saying is it's committal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what? We'll talk about rook lifts in another video because this is going to run and run between myself and you. But what happened in the game?
So here's where my sort of desperado defense ideas come in. I play h5. It's all about just slowing down the attack. So if he plays pawn takes, I just then ignore it and play bishop takes f1, for example, threatening queen g2 mate. He tries bishop c1 to get my queen out of the danger zone, I suppose. I just shifted across to e2.
With an immediate checkmate threat on f1. Okay.
You see how quickly these kind of checkmate ideas.
And your knight's still on brick.
Yeah. It's still there, still on g7.
Okay.
He tries rook e1. He was running out of time at this point, and that's just a blunder because.
What were the clocks at this stage?
I think he had 10 minutes, and I had about 25.
Okay. So not a time scramble, but still getting
I
close.
was not in time trouble.
Okay.
And can you spot the winning move there?
Is this a winning move? Right. Okay. No. Sorry, I just suddenly realised there was a long pause on the video there. But,
So again,
no, your video player is not broken. It's just my brain is
again, I
trying
leave
to process.
the attacked piece on well. I deal with it another way. Rook d1, pinning that rook.
Nice.
He actually can't defend that.
And that's lost.
Yeah.
Is that the winning? That is actually the winning move.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he resigned pretty quickly after that.
That's lovely. And again,
you see how the white's attack is still a move or two away from becoming anything.
it's quite slow. Yeah, I mean, it's a lovely game. Let's just show the viewers this. So this is now completely pinned. What can black? Is there any defence? Can you sacrifice?
I guess
anything?
you can.
Lose,
you then
definitely losing material.
let's just check. You can't defend that rook, can you? No, you've got to play rook takes d1, and then you just lose a bishop. At least.
King
G2,
G2.
bishop f1 check.
Oh yeah,
rook
that's
first.
horrible.
You see how the pieces on the H file, they're just sitting down.
They're not doing anything. Yeah, and again, I think for today's video, maybe that theme of what you've suddenly exploded the game into life by ignoring your worst piece hanging, which I think is really nice. And to be fair to you, like I think it does suddenly get very tactical, this game, and these just look silly. This queen and rook now with your h5.
Yeah, you have to be really. You got to look at the rest of your position. If you're going to swing the major pieces over to an H file or an A file, they can be out of the game. So really look at the rest of your pieces and how vulnerable they could be left,
or how fast your opponent is going to generate his attack or her attack.
Yeah. So to be fair, it wasn't always winning for me. I have run this through a computer, and there was some inaccuracies.
Hey, it's amateur chess. It's good. It's a good game against two strong amateurs.
But you put some pressure, and this time it worked. Something of a bogey player for my opponent. I'm 2-0 up now, although I admit he is a far better player.
Well, that's great. I hope everybody's enjoyed that game. It's another great example of a cracking match in Division 1 of the Bristol District Chess League. I think it only now remains for us to say thank you for watching. Please stay tuned. Do subscribe. The more subscribers, the better. If you want to have your games featured, let us know. Get in touch. You can go to bristolchesstimes.com, and you can follow the blog, and you follow the vlog on YouTube. And we'll have more content coming your way soon.
Yeah, thanks everybody. See you next time.
Thank you.